different about Kentucky is we have to overcome several other things that California doesn't have to deal with. We have much harsher winters, and we also tend to have late spring frosts. So this becomes an issue with some different varieties of grapes that aren't as cold hardy. So we run into split trunks, crown galls. So one of the limitations is finding varieties that do really well here and also produce a really good wine.
And Kentucky has a good growing season, good climate for growing grapes if you do it properly, if you manage disease and the pests and those kinds of things. And you can grow some excellent varieties of grapes here that make excellent wines. Now, a lot of people in Kentucky are trying to grow some of the vinifera, the French varieties, Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon and things like that, and have moderate success with that, but they're not as cold hardy. And some of those crops are lost from year to year because of the cold winters that we sometimes have. But the varieties, the hybrids, I think, grow well and they make excellent wines, but it takes a good winemaker who knows what he's doing.
If you talk to any grower, I mean, I don't know that they would even remember the last time they took a vacation. It takes a lot of dedication. Actually working in the vineyard, pruning in the dormant season, it's an art.
It's not as hard as raising tobacco physically, but it is labor intense. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much time you really need to spend in the grape.
I start in March, pruning. The vines are all pruned back to a certain number of buds. It's called balance pruning based on the amount of cuttings, the weight of the cuttings. Each bud will put out a new shoot, and each shoot will have 2 to 3 clusters of grapes on it. So we prune February, March. After that, I begin to spray for, as I said, for different types of diseases, which that's the biggest challenge for growing grapes in Kentucky is because of our humidity and our heat. They have to be fertilized around bloom, and then a couple of weeks after that, so I do 2 fertilizer applications, mainly nitrogen. In midsummer, all the shoots that grow sideways and get tangled up have to be pulled apart and separated. That's called combing the vines. So we comb the vines. That allows light and air to get into the vines. So that happens in midsummer. From that point on, we just monitor them. Or I monitor them because I'm the one that does all the work. But then we just wait for them to ripen.
And I love the verse in the Bible that says, you husband your vines. And that is literally true. Look at them, check them, tie them up again, do all those kind of things to them.
So I believe that a good wine starts in the field. So here with the grapevines, that's one of the secrets to success is understanding the vines.
We generally harvest the second week in September. This year we had a late spring. It was cool, and so we're actually harvesting a week later this year than we normally do.
Yeah, I think Dad was intrigued because when he first started looking into starting some kind of farm here, the grape industry was, tobacco was just starting to go out. The grape industry was starting to come on board. And he thought, this is something we can get into. It's a self-sustaining crop, so there's no replanting it every year. And it's something a little bit different. It's not what everybody else is doing. You can try to grow your grapes like they do in California or Missouri, but Kentucky is its own little climate center. And so you have to massage the vines a little bit differently than you would in other states. So we've sort of lost that art form that made us such a powerhouse 100 years ago.